Okay, so here's how I handle the negative responses from the cold outreach. Okay, so anyone who has done cold outreach at some point has or knows that there is some people that really don't take it well, and they are very, you know, how can I say this? Like very offended by getting a DM. That's very strange from my point of view for being someone who is like that, but there are always people like that. Okay. And if you don't know how to react to it, it can drag you to the ground and make you stop doing it, like it did to me. Or, to or at least to make you slack off on collaboration, which, you are giving up your dreams for someone who just told you to fuck off. I mean, so that's something we're going to talk about in a second, but that's the first thing I want to say. Okay, if you do cold outreach, it's inevitable that you're gonna get a negative response. Even if you do this absolutely personalized in the best personalized way or something, you're still gonna get people who tell you something like, regarding to stop message them and to fuck off, or to maybe some more mean things like start insulting your mother. Like, it just so many things like that, man. Like, it actually happens, and you gotta be a little bit like you have to create thick skin to receiving those messages, and just say, and that's the first tip I want to tell you, is just brushing it off, not even thinking about it. Like try to, like, just consciously, like meditation, just, and then you continue with your day. Okay, because if you start to like think to yourself, oh no, this guy was wrong, I'm not like this. Cold outreach is okay, cold outreach is okay, I swear, or like, I promise it's good, I'm enough, or something like that. Like, you're going to give it a lot of weight to this, and every time that happens, you're going to be there thinking, oh my god, like, I'm enough, I'm not like this or whatever. And that's personally what happened to me. And so it wasn't until a point where with the help of meditation, that I was able to, like, sense some thoughts, and you say, okay, you go out and you continue with my day, or I continue with my day. It wasn't until that point where I was actually able to go through my cold outreach journey, get negative responses, as always. You're always gonna get negative responses, and just simply, like, see the message. Maybe they're gonna send you on audio. I don't really listen to the audio that people send me right away, because I'll be honest, it kind of messes with me a little bit if I listen to the audio. So I just use the transcription, or if I don't have that feature, I listen to it. I just listen to it for first 5 seconds, and if I see like a negative like vibe, I just click off and just don't listen to it. Okay, and so when you see that message, or you hear the audio, like, you just shrug your shoulders and you say, okay, fine, do the next one, and understand that cold outreach is going to be the thing that's going to make you a lot of money. So it's like, let me just give you a quick analogy where you have unlimited tickets to lottery, okay? But for each one that you do, there's a chance that someone is going to tell you to fuck off. Maybe the person who sold it to you, or another person in random history. And so you can be there and, like, scratch a lottery ticket and just say, and you get someone who told you to fuck off, and you're, oh, I guess it's really bad, and you stop doing it. That is absolutely stupid. That's absolutely not what you should do. What you should do is just say, whatever. Just continue to scratch more. And continue to scratch more. Continue to scratch more. And someone will tell you, yeah, whatever. Just gonna continue to scratch more and more and more and more. Okay? And you just get to the point where, for example, I see myself doing cold outreach. I mean, I'm not saying for a lifetime, because, I hope that I'm not 100 years old doing cold outreach, just because, you know, my brain, or I don't know how it's gonna work, right? But I certainly see myself doing cold outreach for long term, like doing it for a long, 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 long time. Maybe helping, with help of, AI and stuff like that. But either way, doing cold outreach. And so if you think that, or if you know that you're going to be doing cold outreach for a long time, it's better that you do it for, or that you start, making this thick skin from the beginning, okay, and just brushing it off. That is the first thing. The second thing is to not reply to those messages, because in the beginning I used to say something like, I had my friend Michael. We haven't talked to each other in a while now, but I was very close to him when we were doing the cold outreach, and I remember he was telling me that his mindset to sales, which was different to mine, and that's totally fine. His mindset to sales was that you have to cut through every objection possible. Even if he told you to fuck off, you still ask him. I don't know what told me, but what he told me, but it was something like he's going to continue to ask until they give him the real objection, and then he can potentially sell them on that. Which to me didn't sound really well, because the time that I tried it with people who told me to fuck off, and then I was trying to say, why are you telling me to fuck off, or whatever, trying to like dig deeper, it never worked. And they just let me on red, and yeah, I just didn't see the point of doing that. He was a little bit different. I wasn't really, we were in a different paths or a different mindsets there, but some people want to turn a no into a yes with some sort of like tactic of like, I remember watching this video where he was saying something like, if they told you no, you say okay, but I saw that that you don't have many, or that you're only the top page on Google, so I thought I might be able to help, or something like that. And that could help, or that could work in the minority of cases, okay? It's very rare that someone's gonna go from no to yes. Like, it's so rare. It's so rare. Okay, so I would say if someone just gives you the slightest negative response, here's the thing, the slightest negative response, you just cut it off and just move. Okay? Because also, if you're someone like me who values, one of my values is kindness and just being, you know, respect basically. If you are dealing with someone as a client who is like that, then you're gonna be dealing with a fucking dickhead for all this time. You know? And I made that mistake myself. I was working with this coach who in the beginning he was seeming very kind. But then so all of a sudden started telling me, oh yeah, this lead quality is not good. He's not interested. Like, and of course I was doing this for free completely, so this guy was like completely out of his mind. Like, I was thinking, just what the hell. But that was my mistake for bringing this guy on in the first time, or in the first place, you know. And so because of that, now when I see, when I reach out to a coach and they have that this kind of certain attitude towards it, like, and you can just sense when someone is trying to be, or is being very negative. So for example, when I was doing cold outreach a couple of, actually a year ago or something like that, I remember getting this guy who told me, at this point I was offering an offer of like guaranteeing X amount of leads in X amount of days, or X amount of appointments in X amount of days. And so I got this person who told me right away, like I sensed it, like that negative, like hostility, where he said something like, "Well, who do you think you are to guarantee this amount of things in this amount of days?" And so right away, I should have stopped and just say, "Okay, whatever." Not even gonna reply to that message. But I was a bit younger, you know, and a little more unexperienced, and I started to like argue with this guy and tell him that I can do this, that it's actually very simple. It's a very simple and straightforward process where I shouldn't have done that at all. And that's one of the things that I would recommend you to like just, and that's something I do now, which is like just the first slightest point of not friction or resistance, but at the slightest point of negativity and hostility, I just move, and I just don't reach out to this guy again, or I don't even reply to this message. Okay, which I think in the long term is gonna save you a lot of like mental, power there. And keep you sane mentally, and then also it's just gonna save you a lot of time. Okay, and now I told you the last one. Okay, which I was gonna say is the most useful, but probably not. Probably is one of the most useful, but it's certainly the one that I use, most throughout the week, and that is that I think about cold outreach not as a basically sales, like one of these like horrible sales jobs that some people get into, but when they use, you know someone is recruiting, not seeing it as a native sales job, but rather seeing cold outreach as a high end marketing strategy. Okay, so for me, cold outreach now, it doesn't mean to be like being this kind of door to door salesman, and nothing wrong with door to door salesman. It's just that it's just very taxing. I think being that in that position. I've never done door to door sales, in my life, but or actually I did sometimes, or something similar to that. It was in high school actually. I had to do this project, and it kind of showed me how ruthless it can be. And then also seeing other podcasts where people say how ruthless is, um, to do this door to door sales, and how a lot of people just not done or not designed to do this for a long time. Um, which it can be that they're weak or whatever, but I don't think so. I think just like seeing people to tell you to no, 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 and no, it's best to fuck off can be something taxing. Okay, and if you don't handle it correctly, it can lead to you quitting. But when I do a cold outreach here in my desk, and I feel pretty good. I feel pretty on point. And here in my office, like I feel pretty good. You know, this is my new apartment. I'm just doing some cleaning. But when I'm here in my room and I listen to good music and I'm feeling motivated, I want to get to $10,000 a month. Um, when I want to retire my family, when I want to like or achieve this level of success with its financial freedom. I don't like to think about the cold outreach as a sales job that I just get and I'm just like forced like a dimmed dick, you know, as opposed to an erect cock. Sorry for the analogy, but like I don't like to feel like I'm doing this for like that I'm forced to do this. I want to feel like I'm doing this because I want to do this and this is not a you know sales job that I'm being exploited in. Rather, I am working in my own business. I am the founder, I am the owner, and I am doing this high-end marketing strategy. Okay, it changes for me, for example, personally, it changes the mindset so much. So now I don't feel like I am kind of different. In sales, it's not bad, but it's just like the feeling of like being exploited in a job, like sales related. Then for me, it's just a turn off of motivation. And so I just think about this like, okay, I'm here in my desk as a startup founder or a startup founder, excuse me, and I'm getting clients. This is gonna be amazing. And so this is what I do. And for me personally, it just fires me up. It's just so good. And so that was all of the tactics that I want to tell you today. Hopefully you can execute them and find how they work in your routine. Maybe putting some reminders in the notes, so that every time you feel like really bad about cold hours, you can just revisit that. And maybe just say this into your watch later and just watch it whenever you feel like quitting or whenever someone replies in a negative way towards you. Okay. Until then, hope you're having a fantastic day. Goodbye.